Oh hey, welcome to another edition of Hand-Laid Tracks and 3D Printed Trains with Socrates. Today we're looking at HO scale. Doing a little bit in HO, made some tracks, made a kid's version with tracks and turnouts and a whole bunch of stuffs. I released a first piece of straight track, gonna make another one for curved jigs, but also doing some cars. This is the Amsterdam Gondola that I made a while ago. And basically it's available in N gauge. It's also part of that kids thing, but I remodified it yet again to make it so it'll fit Kadee couplers. So now the Kadee couplers fit inside of it. It's got a couple little blind nuts on the inside there held in place, so you can screw I use M2 because I'm here in the EU, but I believe a 256 is about the same. If it's not, let me know and I'll make a modification. And the wheels screw on the bottom also has a nice little load overload, kind of like the way that came out, and it works both as the kid's toy or on the HO track. So this is the removing of the supports from inside. Basically I use a long needle nose plier to kind of jam it through the support area and kind of squeeze it and pull it. This one actually was one of the hardest ones to come out, but if you kind of break off the edges little by little and sort of twist it and twist it, it'll eventually pull out. You want to make sure that the support is aligned long ways with the car. I had some where I had the cars that, this way and this way, and the ones that were the wrong direction, getting that support out was really, really tough. There tends to be a little plug inside the nut hole too. You can put a little M2 or I guess 256 screw in the bottom and just push that little plug out. And then with a 256 screw, you can, it's basically it's a 256 or an M2 nut goes in the inside, and I just sort of jam it down. I have my deburring tool is my favorite little pushing tool. It's one of these things here is just a simple, but it's got a nice flat end, so I jam down with that. And once the nuts are inside, they're in there for good, so they shouldn't come out. They're pretty nice and tight. If there's, you can also use a deburring tool to open the hole up if you have to. But the magnetic couplers and the regular Kadee couplers both fit on the same exact base in this case. Also, the oar load does have I found it has a tiny little bit of an elephant foot, not much, but it's pretty close, tight fit, so you have to kind of scrape it off. It seems to fit a little bit better. And this is the magnetic, if you're putting the magnetic couplers for a kid's version of it, it's a whole lot more work than making the Kadee couplers because the Kadee just screw on. But I have, these are M3, they were M2, but I switched them to M3 because the M2s were just too much of a pain. And I use a vice grip to sort of snap the nut into the nut end of it if possible. Make sure it's nice and flat. Again, you can put it on the table and push it if you have to. Using washers, slip the M3 bolt through the one side, the one wheel, add a washer, put it through the bottom of the coupler, add another washer, and then screw on the wheel itself. I use the shirt to hold it in my fingers because I can't really grip it strong enough. And then the couplers themselves attach to the car the same way the Kadees do with the M2 or 256 with the washer coming up through the bottom. Just make sure that they're still loose, because when you want it, you want it to at least be somewhat loose. These have been a little bit tight, so I'm not sure. They seem to work on the car, on the trains though. And of course the Kadee should be loose when they go on there as well. So on the HO track for the kids, it's got magnetic couplers on the end. They basically put them as a pair, so they only fit one way, and that way, if it doesn't fit this way, you have to flip it the other way that way, but they always meet up. It's got a 6.3 N52 magnet inside. Magnets have different strengths based on the N number. Normal magnets are about N35s. The N52 is way stronger, and when you're pulling a little bit of a train and you're a kid, you want it to hold together. They also have a bunch of graffiti on it. So there's the plain car, which is just a plain car. The CP rail version, Canadian Pacific Rail. I really like this color scheme. It's one of my favorite color schemes on the railroads. And I made 4 with graffiti because that Sacco guy keeps getting on my trains. I don't know who he is, but it's just got it on the one side. And then there's another Sacco, but Obey, because I kind of like Obey. Great movie if you haven't seen it. AFCA, because that's a local thing. Amsterdam Football Club. Ajax, also Sacco and AFCA. And a little small Sacco as well, which is a blank on the other side. So you can make them blank, CP rail, some with graffiti. Make them for your kids, make them for yourself. The idea behind this whole thing, when I first started it, was that you have a toy that you play with as a child. And as you get older, you remove the couplers and you put on model train couplers, and then you play with it as an adult. And hopefully, when you're an old person, you're playing with the same train that you had when you were a kid that was originally designed by some guy who's been going for a really long time by then. But nonetheless, share the wealth, make it fun. That's the idea, When you can learn to play as a kid, we forget to play as an adult. But model trains, you can keep playing with them. So you can put it on real couplers, magnetic couplers for the kid, switch them out, same exact car, easy peasy, and you can get yourself some running ore cars. And you can get yourself a couple running ore cars. The nice thing also, these are articulated. It's a one-piece hinge, just to brag about the guy who designed it all. Anyway, get them on Cults. Check it out. If there's a kind of car you'd love to see in HO or N-Scale, let me know. And anything specific in HO track-wise, let me know again. I don't really use these myself because that's my N-Gauge layout over there that wishes I would do more work on the turnouts. But I'm happy to make them. Give them for yourself. Give them for your kids. Give them as a present. Everybody loves a train. Thanks for watching. See you next time. This was Hand-Laid Tracks. I didn't make a song. Forgot to make a song for this particular episode, but I made some cars, and I made some cars, and I made some ore for the cars, too. The song, on the other hand, just ended.